Greetings and welcome back to Monster Legends. Alright, it's Wednesday and we have all kinds of interesting things to talk about today. Some cases quite surprising. Yeah, we're just throwing the schedule away at this point because according to the schedule, the unspeakable path is supposed to begin today. And of course it ended yesterday. So I'm guessing the Erder one has just been rescheduled. I'm hoping that that's still coming. We do actually have another path, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. Now, the first thing, of course, is something we all knew about, which is the Ilion Tales Challenge, right? And, of course, this is to get Ilion right here. Let's check him out again. Remember, this is a light denial individual. Control does blindness and daze and all kinds of things like that. And as you can see, basically, Progression Island, we talked about this. In order to open up the first one, you have to have those 25 little tokens, 5 of 5. Once you do that, it's basic progression to get through there. I like to do the 20 in like the first day, the 30 in the second, even though I did do several extra hours of that. But as you can see, 50 is well within grasp. As a matter of fact, I'm close to being able to just buy it outright, and I still have a day and a half to lower these values, right? So I am projecting that I'm going to be able to save a lot of gems on this. And I need those gems. I still have to, Cawthorn, I still have to open up his rune slots. And I did rank him up to 110 and use a lot of Ember to do it, so I really do want to unlock those rune slots. And there may be other ones to do as well. But this is going to be running, of course, for another day and a half, and it's just a matter of getting as many cells as you can. You have to get to the 50 to get 100 in order to actually craft him. Hopefully that's where we all are. Alright, and of course we have another 72-hour challenge. We seem to be getting a lot of these days. Alright, Killer Raptor, you get him ranked up. He's going to be a decent enough Earth attacker if you don't have one, if you're starting the game, right? Okay, that's fine. Tryon, he can do some damage. He's got fire and stuff like that. The only reason I have him is because when we had the El Colossal for fire, I had to breed him in order to get others. You know, I just got him up to level 20 and then just used him for breeding at that point. I think it was El Colossal. Or was it actually the original Valentine's Day one? Don't remember. One way or another, that's the reason that I have him. I can't even tell you where he is because I don't know. Alright, and what else do we have? Well, I suppose we should get into the big stuff. Yeah, alright, so we got breeding. We have breeding. We have this breeding event going right now. This is the Relics Edition. And yeah, this is not really the big one. But we're going to talk about this one anyway, because you can actually get some good individuals here. And this is going on for another day and a half, right? You can get Wang Zhou in Kingling, right? You can get Zemillion or Group X. Or you could get Kozar or Iltron. All of those are actually pretty decent. I lend heavily towards Wang Zhou. It's just that, yeah, I mean, that's not really the big breeding right now, is it? This one kind of caught me by surprise. So let's take a look at the Nightingale breeding event. And of course, Nightingale is a mythic. So you would use Tiny and Armor Claw and breed them together and hopefully get Nightingale. Now, these are actually individuals who were part of the Legends path. In this case, the two primary ones were on the free path. You could also use the other individuals you see up here on the screen to give yourself a little bit of a Joker boost. They're acting as Jokers, right? Now, what could you get? You could get a legendary, one of 3, Octex, Master Skill, or Synapticus. Obviously, Synapticus is the big one there, right? So the other two, not so much. But you could also get the mythic Nightingale. Right? You figure, well, there's a really hard chance of that. You know, I don't really think so. One reason is, of course, I have it. I got her on the first shot, actually. I did it yesterday, and my temple was not in the proper shape. I ended up speeding it up with about 9 gems anyway, just because I was getting impatient, because I knew that I got something good because it was 9 hours and 11 minutes, right? So I knew I got at least a legendary. So I was very interested to find out what I got. The reason is because a number of people in my team got Nightingale too. So I'm thinking, I wonder if I got Nightingale. And I basically forced it out and boom, there you go. And I immediately did the combination a second time and got another 9 hours and 11 minutes. Now I very well might have one of those other legendaries. I don't think there's a chance at getting one of the parents That would be interesting considering we're talking about mythics. I'm wondering how they're handling that. Now, what I have heard, if you were to get another Nightingale, it wouldn't actually give you another Nightingale. What it would do is it would give you like the chance of getting cells or ember, because you can't own two of a mythical creature, right? Kind of like it was with the Forsaken, right? Same kind of mechanics. If that's what that is, I'm just going to get the opportunity to get cells or amber, which is a good question. If it's the same amount, you might as well go with the amber, because it's the same thing anyway, right? Once you have the creature, it doesn't really matter. And having more of a wild card thing might be more useful. If it offers me more cells, I mean, let's just say it says 100 cells, 100 ember. I'll probably take the ember, just because I could use it for anybody anyway, right? Doesn't really matter. So, yeah, and then of course this opened up at the same time, which is a little weird, because they don't usually do this. Okay, get that out of the way. And that, of course, is a path for Nightingale. And I call that interesting, by the way. I should move up a little bit more. Boom, more. I say that weird because they generally don't do these paths for the mythics unless you actually own them. Thing is, I don't remember seeing this before I actually did the breeding, so I'm not really sure whether or not I got this because I bred it, or just because everybody's getting it. So, I mean, if you haven't properly bred Nightingale, do you see this? I don't know. I really don't. But yeah, I'll try to get down and get as far as I can in there. I doubt I'm getting to that 20. Just not going to happen. But yeah, quite interesting. Quite interesting. I didn't realize they were going to be doing breedings for mythical creatures. And I didn't realize it was going to be as common. I mean, what has your success rate been like? Like I said, a number of people on my team got it, which is the reason I was curious. Okay, let me just quickly get the temple going, get it out there into the hatchery and see what I got. And boom, first shot, Nightingale. Very, very unusual. Very unusual. By the way, you could probably notice that I did get another O'Reilly. He's just ready now, so I'm going to have to do something about feeding him up and then ripping him apart, because Flynn wants an upgrade. Okay, so here's the big question, of course. Who is Nightingale? Well, this is Nightingale. Essentially, Nightingale is a darkness extra turn attacker. So let's just look at the stats and everything, and then we'll figure out whether or not she's good or not. All right, we'll start with the stats, of course. Life is absolutely horrible. Yeah, for a mythic, just terrible. So this is total glass cannon going on here, because I don't think I've ever seen any of these individuals who at 100 with less than 50,000. Like 51, I think, is the worst I've seen. So in terms of health, really not very good, but she makes up for it. If you look at power, very nearly 5,900. That is really strong. So yeah, no complaints there. And speed is pretty darn good too. Really good. So this is someone who's going to be attacking a lot. But she's got some other things too, but we're going to do this in order. All right, let's look at her evolving trait. At rank 0, she's hardened, which means she's got an extra 20% chance to resist negative status effects. Kind of useful. At rank 1, she becomes immune to bleeding, which is a torture effect, kind of common too, so that's not a bad thing. Protect her against Cain, that's for sure. And then at rank 3, she gets a status cast for a self boost. Probably lasts like 2 or 3 rounds. Extra 50% damage or something like that. It's automatic, so yeah, obviously be pretty darn good, especially considering she'd be rank 3 in order to get it. So definitely kind of useful. Relics, 2 swords. Ooh, that sucks. I mean, unless you have diamond swords, I have yet to see swords that were actually useful, unless of course the individual can actually do things that are associated with the swords. You know, like, you'll do extra damage if they're stunned. You'll do extra damage if they're possessed, you know. I know the diamond ones are great, but not everybody has diamond ones. So in this case, yeah, that's kind of bogus right there. Just saying. I mean, in this case, I guess it would be overpowered to give her a banner, but I think a banner would be kind of cool. But that's just me. All right, so let's start digging into, of course, the skills. And she's kind of bottom heavy on the skills. Yeah, I don't really like anything in tier 1. Basically, I'm just going to go with tier 2 and tier 3, but that's just me. But we're going to talk about them anyway. Tier 1, your worst nightmare. Deals low dark damage to all enemies, applies nightmares to all enemies. That is a waste of her stats. Really, I mean, the thing about it is she's got a really big power. You want her using her power. I consider that to be a waste of stats, not doing it. Body acceleration. Removes all negative status effects from itself. Applies stamina regeneration to itself. Here's the thing about stamina. If you come to a turn and you don't have it, you're going to charge, which means you're going to get half back, which is a lot more than stamina regeneration is going to give you for wasting a turn doing that. Now, it is taking away negative status effects, but you're kind of hampering an attacker by doing that. I would rather some kind of a support individual take care of that, so I wouldn't take either one of those first two. Just me. Okay, so let's move on to tier 2. Dream with Freddy. All right, I'm guessing this is a Freddy Krueger reference, because if you look at her graphic, she's got like long claws, Dream, Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. Deals heavy dark damage to one enemy, applies nightmares to one enemy. Okay, so that's a pretty good one. Good damage, especially with her power. Gonna give nightmares, not the best torture effect, but the thing about it is it's free, it's a throw-in. Most importantly, 0 cooldown. So yeah, I would strongly advise taking that one in case somebody was to activate her cooldowns. She can still do that, right? Okay, X-Scratch. And of course, now we're getting into like Wolverine stuff there. We went from Freddy to Wolverine. Deals moderate dark damage to all enemies, and that's about it. And it's 30 damage. It's low moderate damage, and it's got a high cooldown, but it's not that big of a deal considering it's kind of a throw-in skill. We'll talk about that in a second. All right, let's get down to the meat of her skill set, right? Twilight Wings. Deals moderate special damage to one enemy. Give 1 extra turn to itself. All right, so she's got 2 extra turns. That's the first one. That's the one that does the most damage, right? 35 damage, mid-moderate damage, not too bad. And it's special damage. And then we have Cutting Feather. Deals low special damage to one enemy. Gives 1 extra turn to itself. All right, so we got these 2 down here. Basically, she's sold as someone who can get 4 attacks off in 1 turn. That last skill is the way you do that. She's got Cutting Feather down here, right? But it's got a 1-round cooldown. So if you were to start with that one, right? You do Cutting Feather, then you go up to Twilight Wings, which is moderate special damage, and that's an extra turn. That's a 3-round cooldown. She can go back to Cutting Feather. If this is what you want to do, she can go back to Cutting Feather. You might want to decide whether you're going to do that or not. Because, I mean, it is low damage. It's a 20. So is it worth the 34 cost for that? I mean, it is going to allow you to get back to Twilight Wings a little bit quicker for the next round. So you have to figure out if you want to do that. It's all a stamina thing. But after that, basically, you're going to pick something from Tier 2. You're going to go with the big single hit, right? Which is Dream with Freddy, or are you going to go with the group one, X-Scratch? So that's why I'm saying it's kind of a throw-in. You're going to do the combo for the first 3 attacks that are in Tier 3, right? With a repeat on Cutting Feather. And then figure out, do you want to attack everybody moderately, or one individual really hard and give them nightmares? That way, when next turn comes around, actually when the next turn comes around, they'll get Cutting Feather back. And they'll probably have Twilight Wings back at that time too. So the whole thing can begin again. Especially if you still have Dream with Freddy, because you can use that one again. You probably wouldn't have X-Scratch back. But the thing is, you can get some really good combos down with these. And like I said, with her power, she's going to do damage. So you're going to have to weigh in terms of the stamina costs. That's the reason that, yeah, I know it probably would have been overpowered to give her a banner, but that would have been more useful. Something better than 2 swords. That's kind of lame right there, if you ask me. Now, it's funny that her description also says that she does bleeding. So I'm guessing one of her initial skills does bleeding, because bleeding does not exist anywhere here. Even her special there, Moon Jump, basically it does a stun. So it does heavy physical damage. That's heavy physical damage. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't notice that. Anyway, thing is, I'm guessing that one of her initial skills does bleeding. So we'll have to see whether or not either one of those might be kind of useful. So she's an attacker, she's darkness, she's got extra turning going on, she's got a really good power, pretty good speed, absolutely terrible health, in terms of definitely glass cannon situation here. In terms of mythics, obviously when you're not comparing them to legendaries, right? And at least for me, the easiest mythic to get. I just okay, let me just combination. Boom, I have a mythic. Okay, maybe I have a second one and I get 100 more cells. I have no idea. All I know is I do have a path over here where I'm getting some more. Probably get like 60 from that or something like that. So probably going to be ranking her up. I don't know. That's a good question. Anyway, it looks like my next testing video for Mythics is going to be a lot sooner than I thought it was going to be. Since I'm putting Ilion together, I'm going to have this one. Yeah, probably maybe sometime next week or something. But yeah, this is kind of interesting. I really wasn't expecting them to be doing Mythic breedings this soon. I figured they'd get around to that eventually, but not this soon. But you know what? We have a new Mythic if you get the combination down, right? So it's a good thing that I had the space in the hatchery to a degree. We still need to do like breedings up here. What is the last one up here for the moment here? Hold it a second. Oops, sorry about that. Hatchings, yeah, and there's 8 of them. Probably not. That's probably going to be the big lag for me over there. Fight, yeah, I have to do another fight. That reminds me. And of course, the multiplayer ones are very easy to do. Winning them is a different thing. But with my viewers' suggestions, of course, we're going to win 4 more today, of course. And unfortunately, we don't have War again. The good news is we're out of the Legendary League, which means we'll have War tomorrow on Thursday, which means we'll have War on Saturday. So we're going to have War on Saturday. Hopefully it's a good war, not easy for either side. Something tough on both sides. That will be kind of interesting to watch. Anyway, I think that's about it. Only thing to do right now, of course, would be some PvP. So let's get to it. All right, let's jump right in. All right, so let's go with our first team. Our first team today was suggested by Jack Richards, and I take this one as a challenge. All right, so let's see what we got here. We're starting over in metal, and we're going to be going with... He's right over here. There we go. Melvin. Next, we're going over to light. And this is going to be... Where is she? She's down here. Oh, Elvira. And finally, what do I mean by a challenge? This is what I mean by a challenge. He's magic. I'm pretty sure he's magic. Oh, Wormy. So we have Elvira in basically 2 denials. So yeah. So we have a 105, a 105, and a 100. So I'm not going after any 115s. No, I'm not. However, I don't think any of these would be very interesting. Let's see. Eek. Yeah, we're not doing that one on the left. That would just be death. And we'd never be able to kill the one. I don't know. That's a good question. Should we do the one on the right? I mean, it would basically, I guess, we can't control the laser beam. So the other ones we might be able to control, but we can't control laser beam. All right, you know what? Let's just try it and see how it works. This could be a terrible mistake. It probably is. Wow, that fatigue's going to be really hard to kill. And he's going to be resurrecting. Okay, let's go. Probably a terrible mistake. All right, obviously we want to hack the 2 in the back. Oh, of course that means he is no longer protected by evade. Ooh, yeah, that's the problem. See, in this situation, Elvira is kind of only protecting herself because the other 2 guys are so fast. All right, wow, you only got 1 of them. That's not good. All right, we have to do this because we have to get the fatigue on our side. Okay, good. Wow, the evade is actually completely useless. I gotta get rid of the fatigue. Killing the other 2 guys is meaningless. Oh, I don't think there's any chance here. Oh, you just went and did that, didn't you? Okay, I haven't... Even if I get rid of the Birdgar, it's meaningless. All right, let's get some... hopefully we get some stuns down. Okay, 2 of them are stunned. The problem is this guy's going to kill us. Okay, multi-effect eggs. Blind and burn. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Double damage and corrupt. See, I can't even do a time stop on this guy in the front. There's nothing I could do about it. Okay, they're both... wait a minute. Are you stunned? Yes, you're both stunned. All right. I mean, there's nothing he can do. So he's just going to charge. All right, let's take a second. Poison. I got to get rid of the fatigue. He's got to be the first one dead. All right, can I do healing? Yep, massive healing required. Okay, did I just see left the game? I don't know what that meant. All right, let's see. He's regenerating down here. All right, I'm going to do a time stop on the fatigue and hope that the torture effects kill him. And it didn't stick. That's not good. All right. Is he poison? Okay, tormenting eggs. Yep. Please die up there. All right, let's do the black hat again. Okay, I'm hoping that the bird guard will do something good for us. Let me think. 50% damage protection. All right, hit him. Okay, I'm not even sure what he just did. All right. Okay, the fatigue is dead. This is a very good thing. All right, let's go. Oh, that'll actually kill you? Good. All right, boom, dead. All right. Okay, tough fight, but we won. They didn't have any denial, but then again, we didn't have any denial either. Yeah, in that situation, when you have Elvira and you're counting on the evades, if the two other individuals are faster than her, then it defeats the entire purpose because they're not going to be covered by evade. It's the reason you really don't want someone fast behind Elvira. You want nice slow ones. That way, the other side attacks first, and they'll either charge or they'll just miss because of the evades. But of course, they could also remove positive status effects. Don't cheat me now. It's a good thing you went with that one. All right, so let's go to our next team. Our second team today was suggested by Joel T. Noyes. I hope I said that right. And Joel wanted to see kind of some classic stuff going on here. I don't think I ever ran this team. I might have, but we'll have to see. All right, I got Tara. And probably right at the top is Sparta. And finally, where is Indigo? All right, in this case, obviously, we have some high-level individuals here. So let's see what we can find that would be challenging. I don't see challenge. I still don't see challenge. Come on, give me something good. All right, so let's try again. All right, so, ooh, maybe that's too much challenge. A 110 morgues is going to be a big problem. All right, you know what? We're going to do it anyway. Because we have some strong individuals here. This is probably not going to go well because there's a 110 mythic there. But, unless, of course, they have absolutely no ruins whatsoever. It's still not a guarantee. Because he is still, very strong. Of course, not anywhere near as strong as he should be, though. All right, let's go. All right, and of course we're going to... they don't have any relics, so we don't have to worry about their stamina coming back too quickly, right? And the most dangerous individual is actually the dude in the front because he is going to be... he's going to be regenerating. He's going to be getting them back, I should say. He might be resurrecting. And I... need to kill him? Yes, I need to kill him first. No, he's actually not a problem at the moment. I can have Indigo finish him off. All right, so who am I going to... Oh, yeah, really good. Okay, he can get rid of two individuals here fairly easily. So I'm going to try to get weakness on you. Did I get it? I can't see. Baylor's head's in the way. Good, good. All right, now what I want to do is I want to get rid of the other guys. Let's see. Will this get rid of either one? Okay, this gets rid of you. This gets rid of you. And then we're going to start picking away at you because you got a lot of health. Yeah, that should have been a tougher fight, right? I mean, the thing is, there were no relics on them. Or I shouldn't say, there were no runes on them. I mean, he was the only one who had a rune on him, and it was just one life. So, that's not my fault. That should have been a tough fight. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, you better keep giving me those 500s. All right, so let's move on to our third team. Our third team today was suggested by Chen Zan. Hope I said it right. And Chen wanted to see, okay, this one is going to be very dependent on the speed of one individual. We're starting with Zyla. Next, we're going over to water, and this is going to be, he's here somewhere, Finn. And finally, over in metal, all the way down here. Yes, I would really like an upgrade. It just never really manifested itself here. And that's going to be Wangzhou. It's going to be Porky. If Porky goes first, we win. Otherwise, we might know pain. All right, so yeah, we're having some trouble getting good teams here. I mean, I did work it up to over 5,600 here, but it's just not materializing here, right? So let's see if we can find something. Yeah, nothing there. Eek. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, somebody has Dr. Watts already. Don't want to do that, team. I mean, the thing about it is they'd probably be very fast. Oh, they're all 110, so that would be murder is what that would be. Thing is, if they go first, we die. And that's very likely what would happen over here. Do I want to risk it, though? You know, I'm likely not going to see a better team, so I might as well just do it. I'm sorry if we get wiped easily, but it might be a good fight. Who knows? It really depends. Okay, in this case, they actually have runes, so we're probably in a lot of trouble. Especially considering there's some support stuff over there. So I think Dr. Watts is probably just going to kill Finn outright. Oh, wow, they are all going first. We are just dead. Yep, like I said. Yeah, sorry about that. And I even went and fought another fight just to see if we could find something else. Unless, of course, something pops up. Yeah, I mean, I might want to try something else. I mean, that fight, we never stood a chance, right? So let's just see. You got to pick something here. Ugh, it's just nothing. Unfortunately, it's just very difficult these days, isn't it? All right, so we'll just... which one of these is the best fight? All right, there's an epic on the right, so we're not doing that. I mean, none of these are actually really good teams. We're just going to do this just because that one was so quick, right? But I mean, they don't stand a chance. As soon as I do that, it's all over. And boom, you're dead. And 2 shots of you. And you're dead. Can he one-shot him? I'm gonna take that risk. Yes, he can. So you got 2 fights for your team, one of which we got destroyed, the other of which we destroyed. Yeah, it's just really kind of challenging to find good teams. It's all these 72-hour challenges that are ruining it, because people need to get the fights, which means they have to put terrible teams in, in their defense, I mean. All right, let's just do the final team for today. Our final team today was suggested by External Voids. And External Voids wanted to see someone who doesn't get picked very often. And where is... Okay, we have Nebula. And then over in light, we have... Oh, not that one. I got my cats mixed up. Cloud. And then finally, yeah, we're going to have trouble finding a good team for this one. Spot. Yeah, because this is just going to be ugly here. Is there anything here? Well, we have like one mythic over here. But I mean, that's about it. And he's 100, right? I mean, none of these, I think, stand a chance with a Megaton tank. All right, let's just see if we can find something a little bit more. Oh, my goodness. I mean, on the left, you got a 105, 105, 110, but there's no denial there, so we're just going to go first. And we don't have denial either. Actually, yeah, basically it's going to be Makugan just killing them with double damage on them, right? All right, one more try. All right, obviously we're picking one of these. I guess up the middle is the most functioning team. Well, I shouldn't say that. All right, we'll pick the one on the right. I'm sorry we don't have a better selection of opponents these days. All right, let's go. And you're going first. Charge with me! Okay, so where is the big one here? That's the one enemy. I don't want to do that. That's the one that bleeds. Doesn't she have... All right, you know what? Just make him bleed. And then what we're going to do is... Ignite. And then take stamina away. And burn. And you're dead. And then what's going to follow up with... Boom, you're dead. Boom, you're dead. Yeah, finding good opponents is a little bit challenging. And a spin. You call that a reward? Is that what you gave me this time? Ugh. Can you believe that guy? Alright, I just want to check one thing here. I want to see... We got some of this stuff. I want to see if I can get that 5. Come on, give me the 5. Give me the 5. Give me the 5. Oh, come on. Well, you know, I could probably get the extra one and hopefully get the 5 gems. Yeah, because the monster doesn't do me any good. That's the reason. Alright, so what do we got here? We got a couple of things. We got the Tails Challenge going on. That'll let you get Ilion if you got everything. Hopefully you're progressing well along on that. Yeah, for that kind of a thing, you kind of need gems to push it along a little. I think I spent about 110 on the 30 earlier today just to push it along because, you know, I want to reduce the last 50 as much as possible. So I consider that to be a good investment. I got lucky over the weekend. In one of those video spins, I ended up getting 100 gems. So, yeah, that was kind of useful for me. And then, of course, we have the Nightingale breeding between Armor Claw and Tani. And, of course, the Nightingale Path. I am curious, those of you who haven't bred Nightingale, can you see that? Because it's always been you had to be an owner of the mythic in order to see the path. So I'm very curious as to whether or not you guys can actually see that or not. And of course we also have that relics breeding, but let's face it, if you have Armor Claw and Tanny, that's probably what you're working on right now. Because being able to breed a mythic, even if the legendaries are good, is still much better. See, I have something down here. This was like a 9-hour, 11-minute thing, so it's at very least a legendary. If it's one of the 3 legendaries, I'm hoping it's Synapticus, because of course, you know, I don't have him and I hear he's really good. But the thing is, I have a space issue, so I don't even know if I'm ever going to hatch him. I did get Hercule, by the way, from the 72-hour challenge. It was on Saturday. I think it was on Saturday, right? I did get him. It's just that I don't know if I'm ever going to hatch him because I have no space. I mean, look at this. Devastrous has been sitting up there for days just because I have no space to hatch her. And even then, I'm not really sure where I'm going to put her. It's just, I just don't have any space. The reason I crafted her is I had like 300 cells. So I figured, you know what? If they're going to keep giving them to us in Monsterwood, I should probably craft her, right? Because I could probably do like a 110 on her or something like that. But yeah, space is a huge issue. So we're hopefully they'll come up with some kind of a solution in the meantime that doesn't require tons of money. Maybe expanding the habitats if we had to actually upgrade them to allow another one, and if they could just stand there, that'd be fine. But I mean, one way or another, they keep flooding us with monsters. Right? We got like 3 new mythics this week. Where are we going to put all of these? I mean, that's a huge problem. Anyway, I think that's it for now. So we do have a maze coming up on Friday. So, gonna say it again. Hold your maze coins. Do not spend them before the limited path. Maze is gonna open up on Friday, right? And that means that we're gonna get the coins dungeon for the maze on Saturday, which means the limited path is going to be Sunday and Monday. You don't want to spend your coins before the limited path. No matter what kind of a discount they give you, hold on to them, but make sure you work it. Collect your coins, do your hatching and your breeding, collect your food, feed your monsters, all the things to get coins, but don't spend any of them before the limited path. And Sunday morning, we're going to talk about this on Saturday. Sunday morning, when it opens up, remember the first hour is going to be a 10% bonus, 10% discount. So it is kind of a bonus, I suppose. Anyway, just hold on to the coins until then. We'll talk about it on Saturday. And we'll also talk about the new individual on Saturday. As a sneak preview, he's kind of a metal denial individual. He looks kind of good. We'll talk about him in detail on Saturday. Anyway, that's going to be it for now. So thank you very much for your attention. I really appreciate it. And play games because games are fun. See ya.